Hello, welcome! This video is all about the LEOOUT X10 electric scooter with seat. It also comes without seat, but I want seat. So I'm gonna assemble what needs assembling and then take it for a little ride. There it is, there's all the big parts and all the little stuff.
Have I ever told you guys I'm not allowed to lift more than like 30-40 pounds? Yeah. Step one, and I'm already confused, which really doesn't take much. How they have it in the picture, this straight down on top of here, like this. Insert the fixed shaft and tighten the screw. Instructions should say, remove the screw. Doesn't insert though. Oh! So I'm gonna put the screw back. I'm gonna get it as straight as I can. Slide that on and then clamp it. Oh, I'm gonna have to adjust these so it clamps really tightly. Now we're gonna head further up the shaft to the very tip where I need to remove this piece to install the handlebars. And now this piece that I removed with the screw goes back on here. I'm also gonna tighten this guy down right here. There's no instructions on how to install the seat, but I think I figured it out. The screw is gonna go through here. There's already one in here, but you'll notice on this side, it's just kind of flat. Well, this thing has one side that doesn't have a hole. So unfortunately, the seat cannot be installed without additional tools. That's weird. Normally seats come assembled. This one is not. And there's no instructions. This piece over that, and then that piece over this, and then this like that. It seems to fit, so I'm gonna go with it. The seat, you can adjust it where you want it, as long as you don't tighten these two nuts all the way. So don't tighten them right away. Once you have it where you want it, then tighten them. I learned something new today. All right. That's not tight enough. To tighten this, it's just a screw. So I'm just kind of screwing it in and then clamping it. So once that clamp has quite a bit of resistance, I'm gonna clamp it. Lastly, I'm going to install the light. To turn it on, you do need the keys, and you probably shouldn't have both of them on there at the same time, but I did. It doesn't come out once it's on, it is in there. Then you go over here. Here's the power button, and you don't just click it, or you'll get that. You have to hold it down. To turn on the headlight, this is so simple. It's just a little switch. I really like when it's on a separate switch. And this right here, that's the throttle. That's what makes this go zoomy. I mean, it is a scooter. You don't have to use the electric mode, but why wouldn't you?
So not only does this have a headlight, it's got blinkers on back. Blinkers on a scooter. I just think that's so neat.
Oh wow, I didn't even see these. When the headlight is on, there's a light here, and there's another one on this side. Actually, there might not be enough lights, because I gotta complain about something. There's no taillight.
It's also not very tasty.
To control the blinkers, there's a little switch right here. So now you're going right, now you're going left, and you have to make sure, if you want them off, it's right in the center. Yeah, that's a fun button because it'll scare the bejeebies out of people when you're behind them. It came in kilometers. Right now I'm going 26 kilometers per hour. That's mode 1, mode 2. Guys, this is too fast for me on this. I think I'm getting really nervous. Let's try this again. I got it on miles per hour. How did I switch it between miles and kilometers? Please ignore the band-aid. I lost a fight with some scissors. So yeah, hold down these two. And now I'm in the menu. So here is where I can switch it using either button. So there's kilometers, there's miles. I can just wait for it to stop blinking or just hold these two again. So mode 1 is 16 miles an hour. Mode 2 is 21 miles an hour. Mode 3 it's like 30 miles an hour. The speed limit here is 25. But this thing has a max speed of 65 kilometers per hour, which is about 40 miles per hour. But I question that, and you'll see why soon. Now if I click this again, it'll bring me to P3. This is the voltage level. So you can switch between these, select which one you want. Let's go with 60. And I'm gonna set it into place. This one is dormancy time. So this is how many minutes before the scooter will just shut off on its own. Like if you're not doing anything and it's just sitting there, I think you get up to 60 minutes. Originally, I thought this only had 3 modes or gears, and honestly, that's already too much for me. But from what I read, it's supposed to have 5 as a default, and I think there's even more. So I'm gonna go back into the menu. Oops. I'm in America. We're on miles. Are we the only ones on miles? Ugh. Okay, so I'm gonna go to 5. And here's where I can change that. So there's 5 gears and 9. So there's 3, 5, 9. On 3, I think the mileage capped out at like 30 miles an hour, but this thing can go, it can go much faster than that. So now you see 5. 6 and beyond is really beyond me. I don't know. This one has to do with wheel diameter. I know these are 10 inches, so I'm gonna put it at 10 inches and call it a day. It goes all the way to 30, so it's between 5 and 30. 7, this is speed measuring magnetic steel number. The range is 0 to 255. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means. I thought it had something to do with speed, but according to the manual, 8. P08. This is for rate limiting. The range is 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. So can this go 100 kilometers an hour? 100, what is that? Just over 60 miles an hour? That's crazy. So these, I don't know. I don't know what these are. I'm gonna just leave them what they are. And that's it. That's all I'm gonna go over in this video. Hopefully I covered the more important parts in the menu. Now you know how to change the speed. But for this unadventurous old lady, well, when it comes to scooters anyway, they scare the crap out of me. I'm gonna take it real slow. As I was cruising along, I'm like, oh look, there's a couple of buttons right here. This is the button for me. If you're lame like I am, this one will cap the miles per hour at 15.5 roughly, or 25 kilometers per hour. The other one, because this is a dual motor scooter, you can switch. You can just use one motor or both. The more I rode this, the more comfortable I got with it. Not comfortable at high speeds. That still scares the living daylights out of me. But I felt like I could stand up and sit down just fine while it was in motion. That didn't bother me at all. And it's not like a crazy bumpy ride, which is nice. It does have suspension, and I mean, the wheels, they help. Look at those wheels. Actually, look at those wheels. It kind of looks like they're rolling backwards. So these are 10-inch wheels, really like the tires on them, and they just look cool. And now looking back at my footage, I should have filmed them from the other side as well, because they look even better from that side. But let's go back to the other side so I can show you the dual motors. Each wheel has a motor. Total is 2800 watt
peak. At first I was really confused why there's 2 chargers, but there's 2 motors. So it uses 2 chargers, and it takes about 6 to 8 hours for a full charge. The max weight it can lug around is 330 pounds, so I would say that is suitable for most adults. It has a mechanical brake system, and I really wanted to show you guys how good the brakes are on this, but I was afraid of flying off the scooter. They work really well. It stops, and it stops fast. So another thing I should have done, but I didn't, is take it on a little hill. It can do a 35% to 40% grade hill climb, but I didn't want to head way out there on my usual bike trail because the pollen levels are crazy right now, and I didn't want to be too far away from the house when things really got juicy. So unfortunately I didn't show that, but just based on how powerful this thing is, I'm pretty sure it can climb a hill just fine.
Wow, look at all that green in there. That's from one ride. This is all pollen. This is all that stuff I'm allergic to.
It actually has a really good range, in my opinion, but what do I know? This is what, the 2nd or 3rd scooter I've shown on this channel. It's 43.5 miles. Overall, I am really happy with this scooter. It is a high quality scooter. My assistant that helped me film is used to much cheaper scooters that are like a couple hundred, a few $100s. So this tops those for sure, and I can see why it's not on the cheap end. It's also not on the crazy expensive end, because I've shown, I think there was one that was like $1,600. They have a new model now that's $2,000, and honestly this is comparable to that one, and it's less. It's $1,099 without seat, and like $50 more if you do want the seat. So if you are interested in it, I'll have a link down below in the video's description. And now it is cheesy outro time. I'm so sorry that I'm gonna keep doing this. Toodaloo-lee-loo. Bye guys.
You're not helping. You're the opposite of helping.